the rain, and I'm so sorry, I'm not wearing the same shirt. I did not record the beginning of this video. I thought I did. So this is kind of a starter video on introducing you guys to my lab area, and it's gonna kind of go over how I draw, process, and then print pieces. If you guys know me, or if you don't, I have been a self-taught CAD modeler and CAD designer. I got my printer about 3 years ago, and it probably was the best purchase I ever made. It was a very rough experience learning how to work everything, but you know, now I got the hang of it. It's all good. So it is, and all the different features that I enjoy about this printer. So this is, as I said, my first printer. In a video to come, I will be posting about the second printer that I've got, and I'm not going to say anything else because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But I basically wanted to bring you guys along with me on how I go through my process and see your guys' feedback on maybe this will help someone who's just starting to learn how to use the drawing program. A bit more about my drawing program. So I've been using Fusion 360, which is a program I learned on. Oh my goodness. Let's try this again, shall we? I've been using Fusion 360 for the past 3 years, and the reason that I have been using this is through robotics. One of my mentors said this is the easier version of Inventor because it's a very versatile, easy, compatible program with a lot of the commercial printers and the commercial CNC machines that are available to the public today. If anyone is wanting to get started into a program, I would highly recommend Fusion 360. I'll put the link to Autodesk, to Fusion 360, and the really nice thing for me is that it is Mac and iOS compatible, and that is the hardest thing to find with these programs. Is either you get the light version. Fusion 360 is an iOS compatible program, which for me is amazing. So I'm going to jump into this process with you guys and explain how I do everything in my workshop. So this is Fusion 360, and as you can notice, there's a red and green line, and those signify the X and Y axis. Now this is important due to the fact that in the drawing program you have your X and Y, you also have an X and Y in your processing program, and that will be shown in the next screen share. Now looking on here, you can see that it's very easy to use, and it's just literally a square, rectangle, and a line, and just following a process you guys can easily make and model 3D parts. So I just finished drawing. I'm also going to go back to screen sharing to explain how I transfer this file into the G-code and then to the machine. The file that we're going to transfer it to is called an STL file. This will basically make it easier for this program to turn it into what we call G-code, which is the code the printer understands. This is my printer, CR10S. I'm just going to go over a couple basic elements for anyone who doesn't know anything about 3D printers. A 3D printer prints in 3D. It creates objects. So just some basic components. This is the bed of a printer. This is the extruder, the Z-axis, the Y-axis, and the X-axis. So that geometry and the algebra actually comes into play here. So this is the main control module. This is where the code gets uploaded to, and as you can see, there's an LCD screen which displays the temperature of the extruder and the temperature of the bed. So there are a couple processes that I go through before printing, and that is cleaning the bed, which is actually a piece of glass which is held in by these paper clips, and then actually leveling the bed after cleaning it. It's really cool because then you can actually physically adjust how the extruder will be laying down the filament. This is the roll of filament that I'm using. I believe it's a poly, but this was actually from a Maker Gear printer. Sometimes what can happen, I'll show you guys up close, that the filament will actually, either just due to heat or sunlight coming in, it actually snaps, so you have to reallocate your filament into the machine, and I'll show you guys how to do that. It's really simple. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to take the glass off the bed and clean it. I will go through the process of how I remove my filament and install new filament. You take the pipe off, remove the old filament, place new filament through, and thread it back through until it hits the nozzle. Okay, so for this, what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the printer from the computer, and we're going to turn it off. Now, take off all 4 of the clips, and we're going to remove the plate and clean the plate off of the hairspray. Using glass cleaner and dishwashing liquid should do the trick. Right, so now that we have our clean plate, we're going to take a bit of hairspray and spritz over the top of it to create a sticky surface. Now, we take our surface without touching on this side and go ahead and put it back on the bed, lining up the corners and taking our clips and putting it back on. So now that we have our bed back on, and we're going to let the hairspray cool just a little bit so that it becomes tacky, and then we're going to move to the process of bed leveling. Bed leveling is important because you want your filament to lay down the same way, so each corner of the bed can adjust the height up or down. The piece of paper is basically a measurement tool that will be used to understand how far away the nozzle is from the bed. This is important because you want your filament to lay the exact same on each side and each surface of the bed. So now we have everything set up, and as you can see, it's going to start its printing process. So I'll see you guys after the 3 hours this piece is going to take to print.
3 hours later.
Yay, the part is now done. So what we're going to do is you're going to take a paddle, which usually does come with your printer, and you're going to go off of one corner. And the whole piece should come loose, so there we have it, there's our piece. The reason why we have this lining is when the print is on the board, you're able to see where it's going to print. So for me, a couple of times I decided to print this way as I showed in the drawing, but I actually changed it to go diagonal because it would not fit all the way onto the bed, so I went diagonally. And you can see it worked well. So now we can take this off and then take our spatula, go at one of the corners, peel that right off, and the bed is ready for the next print. So there we have it, a fully printed, fully designed part. You guys came along with me through the process. If you want to see more videos like this, please comment down below. The subscribe button should be right here. I'll catch you guys next time, but thank you for joining me with this.